Hey everybody, how are you guys doing today?
Hey.
Okay, today I want to talk about child labor and the things that need to be done to stop it. First, we want to talk about the opportunity for children to learn. Because these children are forced to not have an education. Their childhood is taken away from them. And that's something that has to be stopped because kids don't deserve to be treated this way. Children should be able to go to school and get an education, just like everybody in the United States. Everybody all over the world should be able to have that same education. They shouldn't be forced to stay home and work all day. That's something that shouldn't even be mandatory, but it is in some countries. It's also going on in the United States, but it's not familiar to some people because others think they don't think of it as child labor. They just think of it as abuse, or they think of it as neglect for the children in the United States. That's what they call it. They shouldn't have to be stopped from playing and having fun, but they are, and this is something that shouldn't be going on. Their owners need to be punished for forcing them to stay home, and they need to learn how to read. They need to learn how to write. They even need to learn how to do basic math, which is adding and subtracting. You feel bad if you didn't know your basic math, right? So nobody else should have to go through that at all. In the Kids Rights Foundation, it's an estimate of 152 million children ranging from ages 5 to 17 that are denied an education because they have to work and because they're girls, and that shouldn't be right either. This has to come to a stop. Girls should be as important enough to have an education just as well as boys. This is not right for a girl to be punished because she's a girl. And although these things are happening all over the world, the ages of these kids are sad. This is very sad, and it's uncalled for, and it's unjust. And to educate our kids is important. They need a full-time education, not a part-time education. You see the kids learning and having fun. This is some schools where they're learning, and then some places where they're having fun, and this needs to go on worldwide, not just in the United States or in Mexico. It needs to go on worldwide. Another thing that goes on with child labor are the kids being tortured. Not only are they deprived of their education, but they're also abused physically, mentally, and socially. And they shouldn't be put in this position where they have to be treated unfair because of their own owner forcing them to work. They need to be brought to justice. And, no girl should be sold for sex without her own consent. No girl should be killed because she can't be used for sex or because she can't be used elsewhere. That's something that shouldn't even be going on. And in an online article of the human rights workers, it is said that women and kids are being detained because of their own protection. And that's not right either. Because if they're being held captive, that's something that they're not freely asking for. That's something that's just being done. And they should have their own freedom and their own rights to make their own decisions. And kids are very unhealthy in most places. Even in the United States, they're unhealthy. Some kids don't even get shots. Some kids don't even go to the doctor regularly because it's against their family's religion for them to get health checks every month. But in countries like Afghanistan and in places like that, they don't have choices because they have to work in conditions that would make them sick. They have to work in places that are harmful to them. And unless it's their own will, they shouldn't be having to do this. These things make them sick. It makes them disabled. And some people even die because of the workplace that they're in. These workplaces include places like construction, tobacco fields, manufacturing, mining. These places are not great for kids. These places are places that kids should not be in. And according to the International Labor Organization, 22,000 kids are killed each year because their bodies are not mature enough to take these things. And it really has to stop. This is something that doesn't even need to be going on. These kids need to be healthy. These kids need the best education, and these kids do not need to be tortured. So we need to put a stop to this. This should not be going on at all. You know, this is very sad. It's been going on for years. People haven't been taking it serious, and it's a serious matter. So if you guys would just think of something that can be done to help get this stopped, it would be great. And bring it to action, because this is something that goes on every day and nobody pays attention to it. So everybody in the room that has a heart, that wants to get something done about it, this is something that's serious. So let's just do something to get it done. If you have any questions, or if you know something that can be done, come to me. Thank you guys for listening. Bye.